So, good evening, all boys and girls. How are you going?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening,
Fine, sir.
sir.
How are you?
I'm not this week. Also, I'm not good. So a recent praying one is the 5th. I think that was Thursday, right? We celebrate Black July. You know, for the Black Tigers Day. You know, their contribution towards our community. So we celebrated. So I was a bit emotional because they lost their lives because for us, but our people are not recognizing. I mean, not all of them, but some of them are not recognizing their sacrifice. Yeah, you know the meaning sacrifice, right? Yeah, and other one is this is still hurting me that recently they found, so I'm going to talk about it. It's called mass grave. So in the mass grave that is in Sri Lanka, in Mullaitivu and Mannar, I think. So they found 2 of them, and so in Mullaitivu district, they found a lot of female fighters. It's called remains, yeah. The bones and all, we call it remains. Yeah, I'm going to go through first, understand what it's all about, so that it's like a sort of probably more to do with the general knowledge. Yeah, all good. Don't be serious. Yeah, I mean I'm emotional because of it touched my heart. So because there's fighters, they sacrifice their lives because what happened was, when they were surrendered and they were taken and executed and buried in the mass grave, right? So I'm going to quickly talk about the thing, execution, mass grave, have the body sort of, decompose. Okay. Hopefully you don't get any fear or anything. I'm not going to touch too much into it, but I'll just show you the process sometimes. Just open up. So we call it human remains. That means, if someone died and buried in the ground, you find the bones and, probably leg bones, hand bones, and the skull. That's the sort of, head. Few other parts, yeah. So say so many parts, it's called a human skeleton. So it could be sort of partially decomposed or fully decomposed. That becomes skeleton, only bones you can see. Partially decomposed means still you can see the skin and things like that, right? But still we call it human remains. It can be decomposed or partly decomposed, or decomposition mean, it's basically dying, right? Okay? So the next term is called exhumation. So what happens is sort of, we talk about the mass grave. Mass grave is more than 3 bodies. We call it mass grave, right? Dead bodies I'm talking about. Okay. So exhumation is normally found to be, it's sort of, if someone suspects, especially judge suspects, that without normally, if someone is buried or before burying, so a doctor got to give death certificate. So without death certificate, you can't go and bury. One is called burial, the other one called cremation, right? Cremation, so they put it in the a big tower and sort of burn it, right? That's called cremation. When you are cremating, the temperature should be around 800 degrees C. Then only it burns everything, right? So it takes only 2-3 hours, depending on how big you are. So it's called cremation. The other one is you put burial, that is put it into the ground, right? So exhumation is if someone is cremated, you can't do much about because you become ash, right? So you can't find the person, only you feel that. So if buried, then they can go and do it's called forensic examination, what age person is, sex of the person, female or male, and other things. It's called forensic examination. So exhumation is basically ordered by the judge who is, someone say, my brother has been killed or something, buried without knowing me. So I can go to court and ask judge to, it's called criminal inquiry, right? So judge will order that person to be taken out of the burial ground, right? So that's called exhumation, right? So mass grave, I told you, more than 3 people. If you are buried in one grave, that's called mass grave. Human corpse mean dead body is human corpse. Otherwise, animal corpse or corpse mean dead body, right? Human corpse mean human body, right? Dead body. So the other one is execution. So execution could be by shooting, right? Or killing by sword or killing by other implement, right? So that's called execution. The next one is extrajudicial killings. Extrajudicial means, without court ruling, if someone is killed, right? Normally, this is coming from the history. So if someone got to be hanged, so that person, they take the person to the court and, court finds him, he is the culprit of that particular crime, then judge orders the execution, right? So it could be by shooting or hanging the person, right? So extrajudicial killing means sort of without any legal justification killing. Normally, that's what happened in Sri Lanka after war. Boys were surrendered by their parents, and then they took those people, boys, and they shot them dead, or they used different implement. Implement means sort of, it could be sword, it could be knife, or, it could be anything, right? That's called implement. So implement that's a noun, implement. Right. So that's extrajudicial killings. Forensic scientists. So forensic scientist is the one who tells sort of, when looking through that sort of body, the corpse. He can basically analyze all the inside the stomach. If it is, partly decomposed, he can analyze, and there's a chemicals they can use it to analyze how long ago this body is, or that person died and things like that. So that's a specialist, and this is 4-year degree at university, forensic scientist. The other one is called forensic examination, by looking at even they identify the people. Say, my brother got killed or something. If I complain or if I lodge the report at the court, and so they will ask for my brother's shirt or any other things, and to match with the, say, for example, say the person's teeth is there, because it takes a while to decompose. Right. So that's called forensics examination, match with, the person's sort of, belongings, and they find out who is that person, how old is he, and when he died, and all these things. It's called forensics examination done by forensics scientist. Right. So this is decomposed. So body, if someone is dead, right? So that called process of decomposition, right? So what happens is, when a person is dead, the first stage is within 4 hours, all limbs, legs, hands, and all becomes rigid. That's within 4 hours that happens, right? So after the death, right? So the next stage is it's called decay, right? First decay and the second decay. So first decay is sort of, in the it's called intestine. Intestine is the sort of thing, digest your food, right? From tummy down there, that's the intestine. So where sort of all your food is sort of absorbed into the walls, and so it break down, and then you get the energy from that, right? So there are some microorganisms in the intestine, so that will eat the cells around it. So that's called first decay, and second decay is normally happens when there's it's called a thing, the fly. So fly is the one sort of, lay eggs. So from the larva, we call it the little worm like that, big one. So I'm trying to think the name. So that basically it accelerates the decomposition, right? And at the same time, sort of, your body, dead body becomes sort of, bloated because of the gas forming because eating. And so after sort of 3 or 4 days, this becomes sort of water, your skin, everything goes. It's called slippage, drops from your sort of, skeleton, and becomes sort of, within a month or so. So this particular mass grave, I'm talking about the Mullatiu one, is, more than 14 years. I think 2009, they've all been handed over to the police or army, and then they killed and buried on the side of the road, right? So this is the latest news. So yeah, this is a bit... All right, I'm going to talk about today's, last week assignment or write-up, and some corrections as well. And I'm going to, because I'm still trying to figure out the grammar. I mean, not all, but some. So I'm going to focus on that one as well, right? Okay, first and foremost, Iron 11 is the best. You sort of, really did well. You had a crack at it, and extremely articulated. It's a really touching in the sense, sort of, the way you sort of, you have done extremely good. To be honest, I never expected that level of, knowledge of grammar and the articulation, when you are putting the words sort of, nicely. sort of, there is a sort of a nice flow. I think last class I talked about, you got to have a sort of flow, right? Any sort of a subject, you got to have a nice flow, but your one is extremely good, right? The next one is Tanishanyama. You have done well, right? Very well done well. I didn't find any sort of, but you have done well. Next one, Sajindanama, you have done too, right? So there are a few sort of grammatical, but I'm going to sort of, look into it. And who is the other one? Santos, yeah. So Santos done really well. You improve a lot from last one. So that's a good achievement, So keep it up. So I'm going to have next one and then I will decide, right? So the third one would be coming maybe before Wednesday, next Wednesday, yeah. So I just want to, okay, and thank you all for submitting your write-ups and doing well, yeah. I'm going to look at, okay. Right. I just want to, I don't want to single out the person, but I'm going to talk about the mistake made, right? But I have to sort of know sort of who made what, who made the mistake. The phone, right? We talk about phone, right? I'm on the call, right? I'm on the phone, right? You can say I'm on a call, right? So when you put the phone down, we normally call it hang up. So you can say, sorry, I'm going to hang up because I got to go, right? Normally we say, I got to go, right? We don't give any reason. We say, I got to go. I'm going to hang up, right? Sorry. You got to say sorry because you are hanging up, right? So you got to sorry. So if you don't say sorry and hang up, that means you are rude, okay? So that's a phone conversation. You got to, I'm on a call and I'm going to hang up, or I will hang up soon, right? Because I had to go and do some shopping, or right. The other one I picked up, someone put lately. So lately is basically recently. So that is inappropriate when you are say I'm going to go, or I'm going to. So basically, what I'm saying, I can't remember the exact sentence that used, but lately means recently. Lately, I've been doing some work in the backyard. That means recently I've been doing, right? So the other one I have picked up. So that is, I will have started going school. I don't know the meaning of I will have started going. So that is not a proper grammar, right? Basically, the question was, I think answer, somebody, your answer, you are basically answering to your friend. So you can simply say, because the school in few days, basically the school is starting in few days. So that means, so this is the rule that normally we use, because you decided, right? Simple rule is, if you have decided, right? So when you are using it, I am going, right? I am going. I am learning, right? Driving classes. So that because already decided, so you simply use the continuous, right? Present continuous. That's it. So I will have started is not correct, but I'm going to show you the okay. So this instant, I'll sort of probably. I just want to give you all some exercise and say what your interpretation, and then I will make some comments and I will give you some examples as well. I want to say how much you have understood this using will have, that means future, future perfect. What situation you can use this one. So I'm going to test it out, right? So I just keep going, and after this, so another one is, right? So my father got a new job. So your answer is, he will be working as manager. So here also the grammar is not right. Will be, that is future continuous. It's not that should not be there, right? So his question was, what's your father's new job, right? So simple answer is manager in a corporation or in the private sector. Yeah, simple answer, right? So you don't need to say he will be working as, right? So simple answer is that. But if you want to extend that, I mean, you don't need to, but so you can say he is going to be, right? He's going to be a manager. That's it, right? Whatever the company is. Okay, other one is, yeah, this is about the weather, right? You can't show what is the temperature. Normally we don't ask that question. We don't ask what's the temperature. That's a bit of a, like, for me, it's a child question, right? So normally, conversation like Western world, what's the weather like? What's the weather like? So it covers sort of, hot, cold, freezing, snowing, right? That's the answer to the question, right? So you don't need to ask that sort of what's the temperature. It's like in the lab, if you ask sort of, what's the temperature on the scale, then that question is fine. But normal conversation, we don't use that one, okay? I mean, I don't say it's not, it is wrong, but I say normally we don't. It might show that you are still learning English or something like that, right? Okay? Because you are go that far, you don't need to ask that. So it's simple question is, what's the weather like? Say in the crowd, you are going with your friend and you met your friend and your mother is in the crowd, right? In the temple. So you are basically, so your friend is asking, what's your mother like, right? What's your mother like? How she looks like. So the question is, what's your mother like? Okay. Big head or fat or what sort of thing, answer would be. All right. So that's another one. Another example. This is another thing. So when we use this up, down, over, you have to distinguish between up, down, and say Indonesia is up, Australia is down, right? Because it's below. Over made on the same level. Then you can say over. Can you say in the room, can you pick up that chair over there? That's how you speak, right? Over there, because within the room, it's the same level, right? But if you are talking about, you are talking to a friend, he's in Australia, so what's the weather like down in Australia? Down, right? Because he's below Indonesia. So the person, your friend is in Australia, he can, what's up there? What's your weather like up there? Okay. So up and down, you have to make sure that where you have to use appropriately. Okay. Okay. The next one is this is called English test. I've been talking about. It's called IELTS. IELTS. Right. So the International English Language Testing Scheme. The International English Testing Okay. That's the sort of thing. I think someone made a mistake, so I just I corrected. Okay. Other one is this is about exam, right? So we don't say I sat for exam. We don't say I write exam. Okay. I sat for exam, or I'm going to sit for exam. Right. Okay. Okay. The next one is apply. Apply for a job, or it's apply for a job, not apply job. Apply for a job. Okay. Apply for a sponsorship. Okay. The next one is we normally the holiday we on one holiday we call it holidays, right? So winter holiday, not holidays. Yeah. Winter holiday. Unless you are on holidays, you can say how many holidays you had this year, right? I say sort of already I 2 holidays or something like that. Right? So, but winter holidays, just one winter, right? Okay. I think I covered all this thing. I'm going back to that sort of future perfect. I'm going to ask. Right? Future perfect. Now you have to give the situation and construct the sentence, right? Okay. Who likes to be first? So you have to give me 2 sentences with future perfect. Make sure that you understand. So who wants to be first? Anyone put the hands up so that I can figure. Otherwise, I had to go from top to bottom. I try to find out your understanding of this future perfect. Okay, I pick the person then. No volunteers? I pick the person. Okay, first one. Tanashalini Amma, your turn. So 2 sentences you have to construct with future perfect.
I will have arrived at the airport tomorrow. Then the second one, she will have moved to Canada next month.
You will have arrived at the airport tomorrow. And what is the other one?
She will have moved to Canada next month.
Okay. Still, I didn't get that. Sort of in the middle, I couldn't get it anyway. Okay, I'm going to test our next one. Okay, Arun, thanks, Amma. Thank you. Arun, on your turn, yeah. So the question is, because I just want to make clear. So this is a future perfect, right? Future perfect is basically, so in the future, what is going to happen, it's already happened, but in the future, it's already happened, right? Yeah. So you have to construct it in such a way that it gives a bit of an understanding of that sentence, yeah?
By the time she arrives at the airport, the plane will have already departed.
Perfect, yeah. That's what I'm expecting, yeah. So because, that time, sort of that particular thing would be sort of completed, that activity completed, yeah, in the future, right? Yeah, good. So the second
one? By the end of next month, he will have completed his project.
Grandma, thank you. The next one is Logapriyama, your turn.
Okay, sir. We will have written a letter.
Sorry, we will have written?
A letter.
Okay, so this, again, I think you might have, did you hear what Arun said? Because there is something that finished, in the future after some time, that he, after say 3 o'clock tomorrow, that sort of, finished. I won't want to make that sentence so that, you might say again, it's the same sentence. So that's particular தமிழ்ல சொல்றேன்னு சொன்னா அந்த டைம்ல முடிஞ்சுது, right? Basically அந்த டைம்ல முடிஞ்சதுன்றத சொல்றாங்க. அப்ப நீங்க you had to give that sort of time frame as well, something, right? So say you want to make another sentence. I just want to give you another chance, because the one you told me is not right. You just simply that you அந்த இது முடிஞ்சதுன்றதுக்கு ஒரு அட்டாச்சி ஒண்ணும் இல்லை. அதுக்கு பிறகு முடிஞ்சதுன்னு சொல்றீங்க. பட் எப்ப முடிஞ்சது, என்ன நேரத்து முடிஞ்சது அதோட சேர்த்து போகணும், right? So you want to try again another one?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I will have finished my homework by free time.
That's great, Amma. That's what I expected, right? So this time you are right. Perfectly. Thank you, Amma. Right. Next one is Purnama. Can you hear me, Amma? Okay.
Yes, sir. I will have written my exam tomorrow, 6 o'clock.
Oh, good. Another sentence?
She will have sponsored to Australia next year.
Yeah, good. Right. Okay, thank you, Ma. Next one is Sajindanama, your turn.
My mom will have prepared the breakfast by the time I woke up.
Oh, good, very good. Yeah.
By next week, I'll be prepared for my exam.
By next week, yeah. You will have prepared for exam. Good. Okay, thank you, Ma. Next one, Guruchi. Yeah, Guruchi. Amma, your turn, yeah.
She will have written her assignment by tomorrow.
Written. Okay, great. Yeah. One more.
He will be moved to Japan next week.
Say again.
He will be moved to Japan next week.
So you can say he will have moved, yeah? Not he will be moved. Did you say he will have moved or he will be moved?
He will be moved.
Yeah, will be a month. That's you. Yeah, will have. Okay. Future. We're talking about future perfect. That means will and have. You got to have. Then you can put the past participle. Okay. So you want to have another try?
Okay, sir. She will be finished.
Don't put be much. You have to put will have. Yeah. Future perfect. Will be made future tense, right? Say, yeah. So she will have something. You tell me any word. She will have finished cooking by the time you get back from school, right? Very simple. Even without thinking, you can tell, right? That's easy, yeah? Right. Okay, thank you, Ma. So, Santos, man, your turn.
They will have returned from their trip by the next weekend.
Okay, thank you. Next one.
I will have arrived at America by tomorrow morning.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Time.
My friend will have been on holiday by the time I visit her.
Will have, friend will have
been on holiday by the time I visit her.
Okay, yeah. That's good, Amma. Good. That's good enough. So the next one, I'm going to give you 2 sentences. This is about future continuous, right? Okay. Again, start from you. So, future continuous, right? You know, simple continuous, you know, right? Present continuous, and then a future continuous and past continuous. So I think if you can remember, sort of, you know, you had to use the rule. I think I mentioned about it, right, before.
By next month, I will be traveling to many countries.
By next month?
I will be traveling to many countries.
Right. Good. Another one, please. So with that sort of, you know, future continuous, you have got the time frame saying, you know, I'll be doing homework at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, right? Because you had to write specifically. Same thing, the past continuous, you had to be, I was doing homework last night at 8 o'clock, right? So you had to be specific about it, right? Okay, so now, yeah, one more, please.
I will be arriving at the parking lot by 9 o'clock tomorrow.
9 o'clock. Okay. Right, good. Thank you, Ma. So, Arunila, on your turn. 2 future continuous, please.
Tomorrow I will be attending a party. And next
If you
week,
can be, yeah, if you can be specific, that would be good. Say tomorrow, you give any time, that way sort of, because we want to say that sort of specific time, right? Say, for example, typical example is your friend is asking, I'm coming tomorrow, and I'm coming to see you tomorrow, right? I'm coming to see you tomorrow, right? So you have to indicate that sort of, I'll be playing cricket at 8 o'clock. So he's saying, so yeah, I'll be visiting you at 8 o'clock. So you can say so don't come because I will be playing cricket at 8 o'clock, right? So you can simply say, and say you come out, 8:30. Right? So that's where you use this sort of future continuous. So if you are specific about that time, that would be good, right?
Okay.
One more, yeah, example. That one is okay, yeah. One more.
Tomorrow at 8 a.m. they will be leaving Indonesia.
Okay, good. Thank you. Lower Priyam.
I will be sleeping in the afternoon.
In the afternoon. So tell again. I think I told mentioned before. You give sort of time, right? Afternoon, say 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock, anytime. You just give me a time tomorrow, yeah. So that's why more specific. You have to be specific in future continuous, right? Okay, one more. So you have to give the time, right? Yeah. One more.
Tomorrow at 8 a.m. she will be studying at school.
She'll be studying at 8 o'clock. Okay, great. Thank you. Sanjindanama, your turn.
They will be playing volleyball tomorrow at 5 p.m.
Good. One more.
I will be writing my homework tomorrow at this time.
Okay. Thank you. Grixiamma, your turn.
By next week, I will be changed to another school.
Next week, okay.
Tomorrow at 9 a.m., I will be doing my exam.
Okay, great. Thank you. Purnama.
So, she will be moved to Canada tomorrow. Tomorrow I will be repair my phone.
Tomorrow you will be repairing your phone, right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So yeah, again, as I told you before, you just give the time. Whole day you're not going to repair, yeah. So at 6 o'clock or 3 o'clock or any you had to give the time, yeah. Okay, thank you, Ma. Next one, Santos. Your turn.
I will be playing cricket tomorrow at this time.
Okay. One more.
Tomorrow morning, I will be driving to my friend's place.
Okay, great. Thank you. So there was another correction in the so this is about the being, being being is actually continuous, right? So be is the verb, being is continuous. Present simple is or are or am, right? A past simple is was, were, only two, yeah. So if you are using being, means say I am being rude, right? So I'm saying, that my friend, he is being rude. That means only that time he is being rude now, right? So that means now he is being rude, not all. If you say he is rude all the time, he is rude, right? So he is being. So when we use being, mean only that particular time. That's a continuous being, right? So you can use past continuous. He was being rude when we visited his place, right? So when you visited the place, he was only that time he was rude. Otherwise, he's not rude, right? So you had to identify that rule is the being. You had to use it in the right sentence and right situation. You had to use it. So only when you are using being, mean that is only for the particular time, right? So he's been nice, or he's been happy. So that means only particular time. So now he's been happy. Not always he's not happy, right? So he was being happy yesterday at 6 o'clock for 2 hours from 6 o'clock, right? So I think only one student used the must. So in the topic, again, the topic I'm going to give probably by Wednesday, you got to use all the, not verbs, I'm talking about the grammar. Must, shall. Someone used shall, that's really good. Shall is normally for questioning, right? Shall I close the door? So that's a good opportunity. The last assignment, good opportunity for you to use that shall. Normally because you are asking question, right? Shall we stop talking or shall we hang up? So the other one, must, is basically when you are 100% or 90% sure, must. Say, for example, in that last assignment, it must be raining. Simple as that. Because you are talking about the weather, right? It must be snowing. It must be cold, right? So that's simple. So because Sydney now temperature is around my place between 0 and 5-8 degrees. So you can ask must be phrasing, that so must you should use in your conversation. That's why I gave you that assignment, the conversation, how you comment. But Aaron 11, and you did well. Couldn't believe, yeah. No second one. So we normally call it, he cracked at it, means done well. Because again, so next this thing, so that would be the last one to assess all of you and use as many grammar as possible, right? So it could be, I can ask some more. I'm thinking which one, because some people they have to use that situation. Sometimes you have to give the time frame. You can't just simply use sometimes the grammar like, future perfect. You can't use, I will have gone or I will have started. You can't use it. You have to basically tell, I will have started. I will have played. Cinema will have started, or cinema will have finished. Okay, another one I found. Oh, well, this is interesting. I wish. Right. Okay. So I'm going to ask each student to give me an example, right? Because that's why I got to identify sort of you have got good understanding. Tanishani, you start. I wish. So that's a present tense you have to use, right? I wish. You know the meaning of I wish? I knew this one. No. Yeah. Just present, right? I wish I knew his phone number. That's first, just an example. So you structure the sentence.
I wish I met you before you go.
Before you go. Okay, that's good. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I don't know, Ninga, turn.
I wish I could speak and understand every language fluently.
That's great. Very innovative. Yeah. Thank you. Logapriyamma, your turn.
I wish I was going with my father.
There is no was going, Amma. That is, that's why you. So I wish, if it is sort of present now, right now, so you had to say I wish and I and the past tense, right? So for now, right, you have to use past tense, no continuous, no past continuous, simply past tense. So you could have heard other people talking about, I wish I knew, I wish I met you, right? Everything is past tense, I knew. Okay, so you tell me, Amma. I have clearly explained to you. Now you, one more time, please. Okay, I move to Purnama, your turn. I
wish I would visit many countries.
No, there is no will. That should be past tense. I wish I played chess, right? I wish I went to meet my friend. But என்னன்னு சொன்னா தமிழ்ல என்னன்னு சொன்னா எனக்கு அது அப்படி செய்திருக்கு, அதாவது நடக்கையில நடந்திருக்கலாம், எனக்கு நடந்திருந்தா நல்லா இருந்திருக்கும் தமிழ்ல சொல்றேன். சொல்ற வைக்கல நீங்க அதுல I wish I past tense, just past tense, no will be, nothing. Okay, simple as that. Wish, I wish past I plus past tense. Tell me sentence. You want me to tell me example or?
I wish I went to London.
Okay, good, Amma. To see my friend. Okay, you know, more innovative, complete, imagining and thinking like that. It's good. That's good. Okay, Grixi Amma, your turn.
I wish I know how to speak Mandarin.
It should be past tense, Amma, not present tense, past tense. I wish I knew, or I wish I spoke Mandarin, right? I wish I spoke Mandarin. நான் மண்டரின கதைக்கு எனக்கு எலுமா இருந்திருக்கணும், உங்களால செய்ய இல்லாத செய்திருந்தா நல்லா இருந்திருக்கும். ஓகேமா? Right. Santosh, your turn.
Sir, can I use could, sir?
Yeah,
I wish I could.
Yeah.
I
You
wish I
could-
could
you-
return to my own country.
Yeah, okay. You can use would as well, yeah. I wish he would help me. Okay. So you are expecting from that person, I wish he would help me, right? Expecting that person to do something. I wish my mom would wash my clothes, right? So you are expecting mom to do things. Okay. Right. Covered. Okay, going back. Clockla vandana. Kanishani, your turn now. This is now, right? The one you have already. So few past. Say, I wish I had gone to hospital, right, to see my friend, but didn't happen. But I wish, yesterday I had gone to hospital to see my friend, right? Okay. Yeah, one example. Your turn. Can you hear? Kanishanyama, your turn. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I wish I had did best in the exam.
You had one?
I wish I had did best in the exam.
Okay, great.
Done.
Thanks.
I wish I had done.
Right. So yeah, okay. Yeah, that's good. Arunalavan, your turn. Easy. Easy peasy, yeah?
I wish I had more holiday time.
Right. So here this is it should have been like past. I had is sort of, have is right. Holiday means sort of, you are holidaying, have, right? So past tense is so that is you talking about now, but this is a few past. So you could have said like this: I wish I had my holidays, right? Had. Okay. Because she had known. When you look at had known, had is sort of, known is past participle, had is the one for the past tense. Here have, so past participles had, right? Have, had, okay? And in front of had, you had to put another had as well, because had is the one for the past, yeah? So you want to have another try?
Sure, sir.
I wish I had seen this girl before,
I wish I had hanged out with my friends more.
Okay, good. Hang, sort of past participle, hung, right? So I had hung with my friends, yeah. Okay. Lokapriyama, your turn.
I wish I had a cat.
Yeah, again, I told you that I had is a sort of past tense. You had to use past perfect. Past perfect is you've got to say, I had a hat. Okay. I wish I had a hat. Okay. Say last year. You can put last year because it's past, yeah? Girukshama, your turn.
I wish I spent a lot of time with my sister.
I wish you had spent money, all right? I wish I had spent time with my sister last week. Yeah, that past. Always you are referring to past. Okay, Sajindanama. I think you feel sleepy or something.
I wish
Shaking the
I
head.
had. I wish I had studied harder for my exam.
Good, Amma. Very good, very good. Right, Purnama, your turn. Thank you, Ma.
I wish I had gone to my. I wish I had visited my friend's house.
Yeah, I wish I had visited my friend's house yesterday, last month. Good. Santosh, Ma, your turn now.
I wish I had met my friend before he flew to Canada.
Perfect. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much for being kind, right? So I'm going to talk about the being, for being, all these things I'll talk about later on, but I will have the next assessment, right? I'm going to give a sort of, very, what do you say, hard assignment. I want to see you have to show your colors, right? Show your colors, your performance, right? So I hope that everyone is really ready to rock and roll, right? So I'll see you next week, and I wish you all the best with the next assignment, right? Good night.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye.